These towns aren't flashy. They don't trend on TikTok. And locals would honestly prefer you never find them. But quietly, away from coastal hype and retirement marketing machines, these places offer what retirees actually want: affordability, calm, community, and a life that doesn't feel like it's draining you financially or mentally. 1. Thomasville, Georgia. Thomasville feels like a place time forgot, in the best possible way. Tree-lined streets, historic homes, and a walkable downtown give it a southern charm that hasn't been swallowed by sprawl or speculation. Retirees here don't rush. They stroll. The cost of living remains far below national averages, especially for housing. You can still buy a well-kept home for what many Americans pay for a down payment elsewhere. Property taxes are modest, and utilities don't punish fixed incomes. Healthcare access is solid for a town its size, and the pace of life is slow without being isolating. Locals know each other. Newcomers are noticed, but welcomed if they blend in. That's the unspoken rule. 2. Decorah, Iowa. Decorah doesn't look like a retirement town at first glance, and that's exactly why it works. Nestled among rolling hills and river bluffs, it feels more like a peaceful college town than a Midwest stereotype. The presence of Luther College brings culture, lectures, music, and intellectual energy without chaos. Retirees here stay mentally engaged without feeling overwhelmed. Nature is everywhere: trails, rivers, forests, yet everything is close. Winters are cold, yes, but housing costs stay low because of it. And those who stay often say the seasons give structure to life instead of stress. Decorah is quiet, grounded, and deeply human. 3. Bisbee, Arizona. Bisbee is strange, in a way retirees either love or run from. Former mining town. Steep streets. Colorful homes stacked into hillsides. Artists, writers, and old souls everywhere. It's not Scottsdale, and it never wants to be. The climate is cooler than most of Arizona thanks to elevation. Summers are tolerable. Winters are mild. The town thrives on creativity, not consumption. Major retirement hotspots. The town feels intimate. Locals hope it stays weird and small. 4. Florence, Alabama. Florence sits quietly along the Tennessee River, offering water views without coastal chaos. The town has music history, strong local pride, and a calm rhythm that appeals to retirees tired of noise. The cost of living is consistently low, especially housing and taxes. Healthcare access is solid, with regional hospitals and specialists within reach. You don't feel cut off, but you do feel protected from excess. Florence isn't trying to reinvent itself. That's the appeal. It knows what it is. And retirees who move here tend to stay for the long haul. 5. Port Angeles, Washington. Most retirees think of Florida or Arizona. Few think of the Olympic Peninsula. Port Angeles quietly benefits from that oversight. Surrounded by mountains, forests, and water, it offers breathtaking scenery without luxury pricing. Summers are cool. Winters are gray, but calm. The pace encourages walking, reading, reflection. Housing remains more affordable than Seattle-adjacent areas, though prices are rising slowly. Locals value self-sufficiency, privacy, and nature. Retirees who love the outdoors and don't need constant sunshine find a rare balance here. 6. Brookings, South Dakota. Brookings rarely makes retirement lists, and locals prefer it that way. Anchored by a university, the town offers cultural events, healthcare access, and steady infrastructure without growth pressure. Cost of living is low. Taxes are friendly. Crime is minimal. The community is stable in a way that feels increasingly rare. Winters are harsh, but retirees who stay say the trade-off is peace. There's no frenzy here, no speculation, just predictability, and predictability matters when income is fixed. 7. Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Eureka Springs looks like a postcard from another century. Winding streets, Victorian architecture, nestled in the Ozarks. It feels hidden on purpose. Retirees drawn here usually value beauty over convenience. The town is small, walkable in parts, and fiercely local. Tourism exists, but hasn't overwhelmed daily life. Housing is still affordable, especially compared to similar scenic towns. Healthcare access requires planning, but many retirees find the slower pace offsets minor inconveniences. This is a place for people who want character, not perfection. 8. Clovis, New Mexico. Clovis doesn't chase attention. It exists quietly on the eastern edge of New Mexico, offering low housing costs, wide open skies, and a simple lifestyle that appeals to retirees who want out of the race entirely. Taxes are manageable. Utilities are affordable. The climate is dry and generally mild. Healthcare access is regional but improving. The town feels grounded. There's no reinvention project underway. That stability attracts retirees who value predictability more than amenities. 9. Marquette, Michigan. Marquette sits on Lake Superior, far from the chaos of coastal living but rich in natural beauty. Summers are stunning. Winters are intense, but locals adapt. Housing remains relatively affordable compared to other lake towns. The presence of a university adds energy without noise. Outdoor activities are endless, even for retirees. This isn't a place for those who hate snow, but for those who value clean air, quiet streets, and strong community bonds. Marquette feels almost protective. 10. Hendersonville, North Carolina. Before Asheville exploded, Hendersonville quietly built a reputation as the calmer alternative. Nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains, it offers mild seasons, scenic views, and a slower pace that retirees crave. Housing is more affordable than nearby hotspots, though rising. Healthcare access is excellent. Downtown remains walkable and local-focused. Locals worry about discovery. Retirees who arrive early often say the same thing. I hope this place doesn't change. These towns don't advertise themselves. They don't build massive retirement complexes or promise endless amenities. And that's exactly why they work. They offer something far rarer than sunshine, golf courses, or tax incentives: balance. A life where money stretches instead of shrinks. Where errands don't feel like battles. Where neighbors still recognize each other, and time moves at a human pace instead of an algorithmic one. In these places, retirement doesn't feel like an ending. It feels like a recalibration. That's what separates hidden retirement towns from marketed ones. The goal isn't stimulation, it's sustainability. You're not paying a premium for distractions you don't need. You're paying less to protect your energy, your health, and your independence. That matters more as the years pass. Another quiet advantage is psychological. In overbuilt retirement hubs, life can start to feel artificial. Everyone the same age, the same routines, the same conversations about investments and medications. In these hidden towns, retirees blend into real communities. There are families, students, workers, shop owners. Life keeps moving around you instead of circling inward. That sense of belonging does something subtle but powerful. It reduces isolation. It preserves purpose. It makes days feel connected instead of repetitive. You don't feel like you've been set aside. There's also a financial honesty to these places. Housing prices reflect local wages, not speculative demand. Property taxes stay manageable because infrastructure isn't constantly expanding. Local businesses exist to serve residents, not extract from visitors. For retirees on fixed incomes, that stability is priceless. Of course, these towns aren't perfect, and that's part of the appeal. Some lack major airports. Some require planning for healthcare. Some demand adaptation to weather or geography. But imperfections force intention. You choose these places not because they promise everything, but because they offer what matters. That's why locals guard them so closely. They've seen what happens when a town gets labeled a retirement hotspot. Developers arrive first. Prices rise next. Chains replace local shops. Traffic follows. The very calm that drew people in gets diluted. So locals don't promote. They don't brag. They smile politely and change the subject. And retirees who understand this dynamic tend to move differently. They integrate instead of dominate. They support local businesses. They respect rhythms already in place. They're not chasing the next trend. They're settling into something durable. That may be the real secret.